Cotton stands out as the most important fiber material for Nigeria's textile industry. The production of the cash crop in Nigeria, however, suffered a lull, plunging the industry into near extinction. As of today, many of the textile factories have stopped operation and their staff laid off. Sadly, there are only 25 textile factories currently operating below their production capacities, and the workforce in Nigeria's textile industry stands at less than 20,000 people. In addition, the cotton growing sector has become moribund, thereby denying thousands of smallholder farmers the opportunity to earn a living. Furthermore, a large proportion of our clothing materials are imported from China and countries in Europe.
At the time in this country, Nigeria had 180 textile mills. The yarn coming out of the spinning mills were coming from Nigeria, produced locally. We lost jobs. Farmers lost jobs. Cotton farmers lost jobs. Companies are still there in the northern and other parts of the country that are supposed to be gin. Wakot, who still has their ginnery. Afcot used to have ginnery. Funtua used to have his own ginnery. Today they are dead. When we held a meeting, there were only 15 textile companies out of 180 in the 50s and 80s and 90s in this country. Jobs have been lost. And that is why it's very important that we know that we cannot continue to be talking about the fact that there's unemployment in our country, whereas we ignore an industry that used to be the largest employer of labor in Nigeria after the public sector. We as Nigerians, or anybody that is interested in the progress of Nigeria, should not allow this to continue, because we need to create jobs for our people.
Recent visits to farms and ginneries across the cotton-producing belt of Nigeria indicate that the stories and challenges are all the same.
The first major challenge is planting seed, good quality planting seed. We also have the challenge of getting funding, and also market, pricing for the crop.
The issue of working capital. Cotton is such an expensive product. Averagely, it sells about 200,000, and for you to buy enough to process, you need a lot of money, and that is a problem.
The power supply is too low, and sometimes when it is in a fair situation, you get it between 10 to 12 hours in 24 hours.
Concerned about the downturn in cotton production and its implication for the Nigerian economy, the Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, is working closely with the fiscal authorities to reverse the narrative of the past 2 decades.
It's no secret that the past 20 years have been very, very difficult for many of the textile firms. They have faced rising operating costs and weak sales due to high energy costs, smuggling of textiles goods, and poor access to finance.
As immediate steps towards revamping the sector, the CBN pledged to provide financial support to textile manufacturers at single-digit rates to refit, retool, and upgrade their factories in order to produce high-quality textile materials for the local and export market. Restrict access to foreign exchange from the Nigerian foreign exchange market for the importation of all forms of textile materials, and support the importation of cotton lint for use in the textile factories, with the caveat that such importers shall begin sourcing all their cotton needs locally beginning from the year 2020. As a first step in fixing the cotton value chain, which begins with planting, the CBN, collaborating with some state governments, embarked on input distribution to 100,000 cotton farmers, cultivating 100,000 hectares in 24 states of the Federation.
With the launch of the distribution of high-yielding cotton seeds to farmers today, we intend to change the narrative on the cotton seeds and textile industry in Nigeria. Under the Anchor Price program, We intend to improve the linkage between cotton farmers and ginneries by ensuring that ginneries are able to obtain the high-quality cotton produced by these farmers.
Determined to get it right, the CBN again convened a meeting of stakeholders in the cotton, textile and garments subsector on May 16, 2019, where the governor, Mr. Emefiele, inaugurated the steering committee to drive the process of perfecting timelines aimed at addressing part of the chain. The cotton value chain, as listed by the Central Bank of Nigeria, consists of planting and cultivation, harvest and ginning, spinning and weaving, textile and garment. Ginning is the most critical part of the cotton value chain. Ginning is simply a process of separating the cotton lint from the seed before spinning, should the factory plan to spin or pack into bales for either export or for sale to local factories for spinning. The total number of ginneries in Nigeria is about 51. However, the number of active ginneries in Nigeria has reduced drastically as a result of reduction in production. Indeed, some ginning companies have been inactive for upwards of 10 years because many are unable to sell their produce due to the inability of the textile companies to offtake the stock from ginners. In some cases, there is not enough feedstock to process and make available to the active textile mills. Since the ginning part of the value chain plays a vital role in churning out quality cotton products for both export and local production, the CBN turned its attention to it in order to enhance quality.
From what we are experiencing now, with the policies that the CBN introduces, I think the present governor is doing a very big job and a very good one. And we have already started to see the progress.
With the CBN support, which appears to be a magic formula, the ginneries are expected to once again spring back to life.
With the intervention of the Central Bank of Nigeria under the Anchor Brass program, I think better days are ahead of us.
Only recently, the bank played host to the top brass of the Nigerian Armed Forces and Uniformed Services in Nigeria, during which the governor took guests round stands of some textile mills at an exhibition held at the CBN head office. With all points of the value chain made stronger, the country can truly look forward to meeting the apparel needs of schools, the military and paramilitary officers, as well as those required for social functions. Just imagine how much impact it will have on the Nigerian cotton, textile and garment industry if 80% of the schools in the country and all the military and paramilitary agencies were to procure their uniform needs from Nigerian companies. Indeed, with the strategy to increase cotton production and link it to an enormous market, hope is very high that the target yield of 2.0 metric tons per hectare and 300,000 metric tons of seed cotton to be produced by ginneries in Nigeria will be met.
When you put the CTG sector together and the chain works, then we're talking about significant impact on the GDP of the country as well.
We started it from the low end by funding cotton seeds and fertilizer and chemical. And I'm so happy that I've started seeing pictures of those cotton sprouting. So what does that mean? In another 5 months or 6 months, they will harvest the cotton. When they harvest the cotton, it will go to the ginneries. From the ginneries, go to spinners. From spinners to the mills, and then it will go into the garment. So I want to appeal to all of us, please let's match make each other and let's create business opportunities and create jobs for our people.
Beyond these, the move will save and earn foreign exchange for Nigeria. More profound, however, is the projected number of jobs that will be created in the sector in the years to come.